7. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu meets with Ministers of Defense and Service Chiefs in the State House. Federal government appeals to organized labor to suspend warning strike as modalities are in place to meet demands. And Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, expresses displeasure over pace of work at ongoing affordable housing projects in Wasa District. Hello, glad to have you join us on the 7 p.m. news on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity station. I am Abdullah Hajia with the news. First, to begin from the presidency. President Bola Tinubu is to attend the G20 Leaders Summit in New Delhi, India, on the special invitation of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is contained in a press statement by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Anjuri Ngalale. The statement indicates that on the sidelines of the summit, the President will participate and deliver keynote addresses at both the Nigeria and India Presidential Roundtable and the Nigeria-India Business Conference. The CEO Roundtable will be attended by leading industrialists in the Indian private sector, Nigeria industrialists, as well as senior government officials from both countries. The President aims to leverage this platform to attract global capital and promote increased foreign direct investments in key labor-intensive sectors of Nigeria's economy for job creation and revenue expansion. In other news, President Bola Tinubu this Monday met with defense ministers and the service chiefs. Minister of Defense Abubakar Badaru and his Minister of State Bello Matawalle led the service chiefs to the security meeting at the State House. The meeting lasted less than an hour behind closed doors at the State House. Details of the meeting were not disclosed. However, State House correspondent Musbah Al Wahab reports that this is the first meeting the President has had with service chiefs since their decoration. Away from that, 11 persons received awards at the 55th investiture of new members of Fellow of Institute of Business Diplomacy and Financial Management. Odirogburu Arutere reports that the event that featured financial experts in attendance recommended that governments sustain viable economic policies that encourage foreign direct investment be sustained.
Key actors in the public and private sectors of the nation's economy have continued to review economic policies that will add values required to turn Nigeria amongst the developed economic of the world. Members of the Institute of Business Diplomacy and Financial Management are tasked to add necessary values through professionalism. President and Chairman of the Council, Gado Shehu, said that the investiture and induction of 11 new members is coming after the immense contributions to the growth and development of the Nigeria's economy.
The essence of this induction is for us as a country to know that we have potentials among our people. It is not just for us to finish university, start working, but we can be useful to our community and the society.
The institute, as we see, is a professional body approved by the Federal Ministry of Education to promote business diplomacy and financial management in Nigeria.
What we see trending around the globe today is not far away from globalization. Things are happening that we see and we don't do. It's expected of us we see what will change our economy, because our economy is our focal point.
When you look at issues coming out economically, you understand that yes, this nation, we need people with ideas that can change this nation. And coupled with that, we need also good business environment that can improve Nigeria economy.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the President and the Chairman of the Governing Council for counting me worthy to be inducted today.
Highlights of the event was paper presentation by Williams Kamali, who stressed the need for government to accelerate expansion of the economy and to probably utilize social media platforms. The theme for the 55th investiture and induction of new members has its theme, globalization and Nigeria's economic development. In Abuja, Odiri Ogboru, Arutere, NTA News.
The Presidential Election Petition Court is set to deliver its verdicts on the three consolidated petitions challenging the declaration and return of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner of February 25, 2023 presidential election. The Chief Registrar of the Court of Appeal, Umar Mohammed Bangari, confirmed the date in Abuja. Bangari, whose court is accommodating the tribunal, said that everything has been put in place to ensure hitch-free delivery of the verdicts in the three petitions. The three consolidated petitions are the ones filed by the presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Abubakar Atiku, and his counterparts in the Labour Party, Peter Obi, as well as that of Allied People Movement, APM. Bangari hinted that adequate security has been put in place and that only the invited members of political parties and the general public would be allowed into the courtroom to avoid congestion and security breaches. The court says the live telecast of the verdicts will be allowed. Now, the Nigeria Electricity Management Services Agency, NEMSA, has assured electricity consumers with prepaid meters that purchase units will not be lost due to the ongoing process of meter upgrade by electricity distribution companies. Managing Director of NEMSA and the Chief Electrical Inspector of the Federation, Aliyu Tukur Tahir, in a statement, states that the issue of standard transfer specification prepaid meters upgraded by means of token identifier rollover will not lead to loss of units. NEMSA advises electricity consumers not to fear, stressing that the token identifier is a 24-bit field contained in standard transfer specification, complaint tokens, that identifies the date and time of the token generation to determine if a token has already been used in a prepaid meter. The process, NEMSA assures, will not make energy meters fast or slower, hence there is no need to panic. The meter manufacturers will be required to change their production processes in order to cater for the new manufacturing hardware to secure modules and key load files. Now, talking health, medical experts have advocated proper sex orientation and practices among adults as unsafe sexual practices leads to oral and anal cancers as a result of viruses found around the genital areas. This call came to the fore as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to commemorate World Sexual Health Day. Serafina Okonomekwe has details.
Sex plays a vital role in the life of every individual. However, unsafe sexual practices leads to spread of infections. World Sexual Health Day was established in 2010 as a medium to create social awareness about what sexuality plays in human health and to promote the fact that sexual health is only attainable through sexual rights by the World Health Organization.
So it's not just about having safe sex, but it's also about the mental implication of the sex and the sexual activities that they engage in.
The day also seeks to break fears and taboos surrounding sexuality. So far, more than 65 countries are said to have officially recognized this day.
We're talking about sexual and reproductive health, which is a fundamental component of well-being. is a fundamental component of well-being throughout one's life. It deals with equality, it deals with respect, it deals with safety and the freedom of an individual.
Medical practitioners therefore harp on the need for parents to begin early sex orientation for their wards, as homosexual practices leads to various degrees of cancer. The theme for this year's World Sexual Health Day is consent. Serafina Okun Omekwe, NT News.
Now to some news from the territory. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has expressed displeasure over the state of the ongoing affordable housing estate in Wasa district of Abuja. The minister expresses his outrage when he visited the site during a project tour. Shuaibu Onosi reports.
The Wasa affordable housing estate being constructed under the public-private partnership arrangement is meant to meet the housing needs of the residents. During the tour of the project site by the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, all did not go down well between the minister and the director, Satellite Towns Development Department, Olusegun Olusa, over the contract arrangement and the sum amounting to 85 billion naira. For the fourth time, the minister expresses his displeasure over the spate of abandoned projects scattered across the territory.
Government cannot just cough out 85 billion naira and then the land is ours. We're providing all the infrastructures, and then you want to give it out to private developers who will now build and sell. I mean, we think that government must also participate, having provided the land and having provided the infrastructure. And so this kind of arrangement is not commendable at all. As I speak to you, you don't even have up to 20% completion. Every contract abandoned because of no money. We will not encourage that. We are going to look at everything.
Other project sites visited are the access road linking the body of benches in Jabi and the Kabusa Junction by Apple Mechanic Village, where the officials of the Development Control Department cleared all the contravening structures constituting nuisance. Nyesom Wike assures that the demolished area will be protected to avoid the rebirth of shanties in the area. The minister, however, disclosed that more project sites will be visited before any further commitment of funds to any project by the administration. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Now to labor matter. The federal government has commenced implementation of palliatives at the state and local government levels, while modalities to meet other organized labor demands are in place. Minister of Labor and Employment Simon Lalong says the reminder has become imperative as he appeals to the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) to suspend the planned nationwide strike. Joseph Osen reports.
It is about 2 weeks after inauguration, but before studying all briefs at the ministry, a threat of national strike is staring the Minister of Labour and Employment Simon Lalong in the face.
In the next few weeks, we intend to address them holistically. Consequently, I use this opportunity to reassure Nigerian workers that this government would never take them for granted.
The minister wants NLC to stay action on the planned industrial action, given that government has commenced efforts to address hardship brought about by the removal of petroleum subsidy.
You will recall that on the directive of Mr. President, the federal government dispatched trucks of rice and other grains to states for immediate distribution to most vulnerable citizens, approved the disbursement of 5 billion naira to the 36 states and FCT for purchase and distribution of more palliatives and further interventions. Earlier, Mr. President had directed the purchase of CNG-powered buses and implementation of the policy for the conversion of petrol cars to gas as a way of reducing the cost of energy for transportation. In the course of the coming weeks, additional measures will be announced.
Other issues brought forward by NLC, including conflicts between the organized labor and government of Imo and Abia states, occupation of NURTW National Secretariat, demolition of structures in Abuja, and attacks on farmers in parts of the country. The minister says the current administration is ready to deploy healthy dialogue to resolve issues. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
When life is a little harder, we are here to lighten the load. Sedap Supreme Noodles is here for you. Because only fine ingredients go into Sedap Supreme Chicken Essence to give it that truly delicious chicken taste. Sedap Supreme Tasty Chicken Noodles, capturing the supreme tasty chicken goodness. Come and taste the difference of Nigeria's real chicken essence noodle. Be Supreme Nigeria.
When malaria won't show power for your side, it gon' knock you down. I'm a temp salt gel. Like I tell you, no say, malaria medicine when no get bad days, or bitter days for mouth, and it easy to swallow. Try. I got red game changer. I'm a temp salt gel.
Say no to malaria. Yes to life.
Now to a bit on sports. The Federal Ministry of Sports Development has announced September 20th to 30th, 2023 as the new date for the 7th edition of the National Youth Games, which will be held in Asaba, Delta State. The new date was confirmed after a meeting between the Ministry of Sports Development and the Chairman, Delta State Sports Commission, Tonobo Kokua, which took place in Abuja. Over now to Francisca Bile for other sports stories.
The Nigeria Football Federation has given the head coach of Super Eagles, Jose Santos Peseiro, a semi-final target at the 2024 African Cup of Nations slated to hold in Ivory Coast. This decision follows successful qualification, including a remarkable 10-0 victory over Sao Tome and Principe. Meanwhile, Coach Peseiro has invited 23 players to camp to next weekend's qualification series final day encounter against Sao Tome and Principe in Uyo. The players include Captain William Ekong, Simi Ajayi, midfielders Wilfred Ndidi and Frank Oyeka, forward Moses Simon, Victor Osimhen and Taiwo Awoniyi. And to athletics, Nigeria's long jumper Ese Brome became the first Nigerian field athlete to qualify to the final of the Diamond League by jumping 6.71 meters at the 12th of the 14-leg league's meeting in China. Talking tennis, 23 Grand Slam singles champion Novak Djokovic swept past Croatia's Borna Gojo in straight sets to book his place in the quarterfinals of the US Open on Tuesday. Djokovic outclassed world number 105 Gojo to win 6-2, 7-5, 6-4 in 2 hours 26 minutes on the Arthur Ashe Stadium courts. With Sports Brief, Francisca Bile, NTA News.
All right, Sports Brief brings us to the end of the English segment of the news. Up next is translation. Good evening. Thank you for watching the news. I am Abdullah Hajia.
Aza nuba jiro bayi bachi bayi woyi wize kwenye kwa woyi nwona na iwo abeda natuko isha ndaje zuma woni ye waguba ngai ayi tituko da Bola Tinubu nnaye wala se ase no minister yi nsapa azagunya bedo no agnabe no azagu sapa minister sapa azagunya no ayo Abubakar Badaru bedo no minister bibi pagenya Bello Matawali woni yi abie no agnabe azagunya bailo ayi tituko da aba oba sese kotomwa osa boyon ba benu abagugi antodu akbeye numba sase ba ku ajon ama azawale sheba webe na bedai na yiwo musbau dan wahab wagage ye jiye kwen akoneji musin she eyitindo da begumbe baiza ambedai wachige bi na jinwa ji ewe nu ashi nu gwamnati ekinya nla ya bai ga majin yajiya nu akpeje gbogbo nanu eyikinye bedo nu a gwamnati abibi na bage kwace aza a shinge saya kwenye to zagibon kwenye ngaga ko mputa lalo kwa jege oyan gbedogun atntin jiyan jin ba yen ala ya jin Joseph Otten wale shebe wobe na bedai wa ngaga minister sapa atntin jiyan Simon Lalon wa ngaga be paye kwenye ko jin obe shishinu antichenu wo ba gbedogun a gwamnati atntin jiyan nge yipe mbabe lashi ngata esha tintin len ba ko jeze bana bun baza jwa dabada njesun wa chige puta yakoni jinkwa be minister akinzindan yerson wuke woku bugba boye na tintin nwaye ajin ajin njigba na yige wasan onozo yakubu nwale sheba we be na bedai wa ngege minister we dadie na sawa bi sheba nwa putai we le jigba yakoni we je she ajin le ami apua nwu ye beda tajin kwa zida apin ohun asukun abo babwa wole lainu saizu.
Assalamu alaikum masu kallo da sauraron mu barkanmu da warhaka ga labaran mu na yau a takaice mai karantawa Yusuf Yakubu. Shugaba Bola Tinubu ya gana da ministocin tsaro da hafsoshin tsaron ƙasa a nan birnin Abuja. Ministan tsaro Abubakar Badar da ƙaramin ministan tsaro Bello Matawalle su suka jagoranci zaman a fadar shugaban ƙasa. Sun gudanar da zaman na kusan sa'a ɗaya ba tare da sanin abin da suka tattauna ba. Wakilin fadar shugaban ƙasa Musbahu Dan Wahab ya rawaito mana cewa wannan shine zama na farko da shugaba Bola Tinubu ya yi da hafsoshin tsaron ƙasar tun da suka kama aiki. Gwamnatin tarayya ta fara raba kayan tallafin ragewa 'yan ƙasa raɗaɗin cire tallafin man fetur da ya haifar a jijiyoyi a jihohi da ƙananan hukumomi na ƙasar nan baki ɗaya. A yayin da take ɗaura ɗamarar biya wa ƙungiyoyin ƙodagon ƙasar buƙatunsu na cirewa 'yan ƙasa ciyawa daga ido. Wakilinmu Joseph Austin ya shaida mana cewa ministan ƙwadago da ɗaukar aiki na ƙasa Simon Lalon ya ce ya zama wajibi ya tunatar da al'umma a daidai lokacin da ya roƙi ƙungiyoyin ƙwadago na ƙasa da su janye yajin aikin gama gari da suke shirin tafiya. Wanda ya ce gwamnatin tarayya na ci gaba da ƙoƙarin rage raɗaɗi ga 'yan ƙasa ta hanyar rabe-raben kayayyaki da sauran tallafin da ya kamata. Ministan Abuja ya bayyana rashin jin daɗinsa akan yadda ake yin wasu rukunan gidaje a yankin Wase da ke nan birnin Abuja. Wakilin Shaibu Yakubu ya labarta mana cewa ministan ya bayyana rashin gamsuwar tasa da yadda ake gudanar da aikin ne a lokacin da ya kai ziyarar duba aiki a Wasa. Ƙarshen labaran namu ne kenan sai kuma gobe idan Allah ya kai mu kwana lafiya.
Ekele m gị Igbo wem, oge erula ọzọ maka akụkọ ụwa nke uhuruchi a. Aha m bụ Rachel Ifi Onu. Gere akụkọ ụwa n'uju ya. Onyeisi ala Bola Ahmed Tinubu na minista na-ahụ maka ọrụ nchekwa nakwa ndị isi niile n'ụlọ ọrụ na-ahụ maka nchekwa enweela nnọkọ taa bụ Mọnde. O kwere nghọta na ya bụ minista na-ahụ maka ọrụ nchekwa Abubakar Badaru na minista na-ahụ maka steeti Bello Matawalle sonyere na ya bụ nnọkọ n'ụlọ ọrụ onyeisi ala anyị. Musbau Danwahab gbakwunyekwara na nke a bụ nnọkọ mbụ ha na onyeisi ala anyị nwere kamgbe enyechara ha ya bụ ọkwa. Gọọmenti ala anyị amalitela inye ihe iti aka n'obi na steeti nakwa ụkpụrụ ọchịchị dị iche iche n'ala anyị ma na-agba mbọ ịhụ na ha mere ihe otu na-ahụ maka ọdịmma ndị ọrụ n'ala anyị gwara ha mee. Joseph Osen wetara akụkọ na minista n'ihe banyere ọdịmma ndị ọrụ Simon Lalong mekwara ka anyị mata na ihe ha chọrọ bụ ihe dị oke mkpa ma na-arịọ ya bụ ụlọ ọrụ ka ha kwụsị abụba ọrụ ha na-akwado ịmalite n'oge na-adịghị anya. Minista n'isi ala anyị Nyesom Wike egosipụtala mwute n'ihe banyere ụlọ esteeti a na-ewu n'ime obodo Wasa. Oloze Yakubu wetara akụkọ na ya bụ minista gosipụtara nke a mgbe ọ garuru na ya bụ obodo ịhụ etu ha si arụ ọrụ. Ya bụ minista gakwara n'ihu kwuo na ụlọ ndị a bụ iji nyere ndị obibi isi ala anyị aka n'ihe banyere ebe obibi. Igbo bụ Igbo, ebe a ka anyị pịachiri nke taa. Sonyere anyị echi niile. Ndewo.
Ìròyìn iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì karùn-ún ti ìlú Àbújá ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ́-yín látẹnu Mobọ́lájí Mátì. Ààrẹ Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ṣe ìpàdé àkọ́kọ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn olórí ètò ààbò gbogbo. Alákòójọpọ̀ ìròyìn Musbau Danwahab ròyìn wípé aláṣẹ ètò ààbò Abubakar Badaru àti aláṣẹ kejì rẹ̀ Bello Matawalle ló ṣíwájú ìrìnàjò náà sí ààrẹ Bọ́lá, bí ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé ìpàdé ìkọ̀kọ̀ ni wọ́n ṣe. Ìjíròrò ọ̀hún ṣe pàtàkì púpọ̀ fún orílẹ̀-èdè àti gbogbo ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè lápapọ̀. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ ti gbé ìgbésẹ̀ rere lórí àwọn ohun àtìlẹ́yìn fún ìpínlẹ̀ gbogbo àti ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ yíká nígbà tí ètò ń lọ lọ́wọ́ láti rí i wípé ó dá sí gbogbo ohun tí àwọn àjọ ètò iṣẹ́ ń béèrè fún. Alákòójọpọ̀ ìròyìn Joseph Osin ròyìn wípé aláṣẹ ètò iṣẹ́ àti ètò ìgbanisíṣẹ́ Simon Lalong sọ wípé ó ṣe pàtàkì púpọ̀ láti jẹ́ kí ìgbésẹ̀ náà jẹ́ mímọ̀. Ó gbé ọ̀rọ̀ náà kalẹ̀ lásìkò tó rawọ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ sí àjọ ètò iṣẹ́ wípé kí wọ́n fagilé ètò ìdáṣẹ́ sílẹ̀ tí ó fẹ́ tẹsẹ̀ bọ̀ yíká orílẹ̀-èdè. Aláṣẹ ìlú Àbújá Nyesom Wike ti fi ẹ̀dùn ọkàn rẹ̀ hàn lórí ọgbà àjọgbé alábọ́dé tí wọ́n ń kọ́ lọ́wọ́ ní agbègbè Wàsà ní ìlú Àbújá. Alákòójọpọ̀ ìròyìn Yakubu ròyìn wípé aláṣẹ Wike lásìkò ìrìnàjò àbẹ̀wò sí àwọn iṣẹ́ tó ń lọ ní agbègbè Wàsà, inú aláṣẹ Nyesom ò dùn rárá pẹ̀lú ipò tó bá ọgbà tí iṣẹ́ náà ti ń lọ. Ó mẹ́nuba ọ̀pọ̀ ohun tí kò ṣe déédé pẹ̀lú bí wọ́n ti ṣe gbé iṣẹ́ ọgbà náà kalẹ̀, èyí tó ń fẹ́ àyẹ̀wò ní kíákíá. Òkì ń dùn kó pọ̀, ṣíún ní ọbẹ̀ oge. Títí ìwòyí ọ̀la, ojúmọ́ ire ni yóò mọ́ wa.